Welcome to the Morning Walk with Murty Digital Stroll.
Glad to be here for this one.
Yeah, so imagine spending years building this massive, thriving digital kingdom, right? Like millions of views, thousands of super engaged followers, a community that just hangs on your every word.
A literal dream for most creators, yeah.
Exactly. But then imagine waking up one morning and you realize you don't actually own the keys to the front gate.
Oh, man. The worst nightmare.
Right. Like one subtle algorithm change by a tech giant or just, some arbitrary policy shift, and you are entirely evicted from the empire you built.
Just gone overnight.
Oof, gone. So today we are taking on a very specific mission to solve that exact vulnerability. And I'm speaking to you today wearing my hat as the strategic auditor, acting as the architect of Antaryami.
Which is such a crucial framework right now.
It really is. And if you are new to that framework listening right now, think of Project Antaryami as our blueprint for reclaiming the internet, basically pulling back from the noisy algorithmic circus to build something that's actually sovereign and enduring.
I love that. Something that lasts.
Yeah, so our goal for this Gurukul session is to look clearly through what we call the Digital Prism. We are hunting for something very specific here. We are looking for the legacy code, like the foundational DNA of true digital independence.
And our source material today is, well, it's really interesting because at first glance, it looks like just a simple feature set, right?
Yeah, just a manifesto for a creator platform called Buy Me a Coffee.
Exactly. It looks so unassuming on the surface. Like when you were scrolling the web, it's just this quaint little button you see at the bottom of a blog post or, a YouTube video.
A little coffee cup icon.
Right. But when you apply that digital prism and really start to analyze the underlying architecture, it reveals this completely different paradigm for how humans can actually interact on the web.
Okay, let's unpack this because we aren't just talking about some website currently being used by, I think it's over 2 million creators now.
Yeah, massive user base.
Huge. And we aren't here to just read off a boring list of software updates. What this source material actually outlines is, well, it's a fundamental blueprint for a complete digital migration.
A mass exodus, really.
Totally.
Yeah.
An exodus away from traditional, highly restrictive business models where the creator is basically at the bottom of the food chain. So to help us decode this, I'm joined by my co-host, who serves as our wisdom seeker and the mentor of the Antaryami VA Academy.
Thank you. It's a privilege to walk this path with you today.
Always. Together, we are going to explore how this platform acts as the bedrock for a modern, decentralized knowledge-sharing ecosystem. An ecosystem we are calling Gurukul 2.0.
Which is such a powerful concept. Like, think of the ancient Gurukuls, right? These intimate, decentralized hubs where students lived and learned directly from a mentor, but, completely rebuilt for the modern digital age.
Rebuilt from the ground up.
Yeah. And for you listening, we really want to make this incredibly tangible. The systems you interact with every single day, they are quietly designed to dictate how you connect, how you share your knowledge, and ultimately, who owns the fruits of your labor.
So true.
We are going to reveal how digital sovereignty and creator autonomy are not just, theoretical buzzwords. They're actively being reshaped and deployed right under our noses.
Okay, so before you can build that massive decentralized ecosystem, you have to solve a very basic, very human problem first, right? The friction of the initial connection.
The hardest part.
Right. If you are going to execute a true digital migration, how do you actually move your audience away from a sterile, cold transaction and into a genuine interaction?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right, because think about the legacy code of traditional e-commerce. It's brutal. It's isolating. It's like add to cart, enter your billing address, input your 16-digit card number.
Verify your zip code, process customer ID number, yeah. It's exhausting.
It feels like doing taxes just to support someone. But this platform makes a very deliberate structural choice right out of the gate. Their manifesto explicitly states they do not use the word customers.
That is so key.
And they don't use the word transactions either.
Yeah.
The people who engage with your work, they are your supporters.
See, that language shift is the cornerstone of everything that follows. I mean, words build worlds, right?
Absolutely.
When you label someone a customer, you immediately invoke a transactional legacy. Like, I give you money, you give me a good, and the relationship terminates until the next transaction. It is finite.
Very finite.
But a supporter, that implies a shared journey. It suggests that the person clicking that button is actually investing in the creator's potential, their ongoing output, and honestly, their actual well-being.
Yeah, it changes the whole vibe.
It transforms a momentary exchange of capital into the genesis of a real community.
And the mechanics of how they facilitate this support are what really caught my eye, as the strategic auditor, because it's fascinatingly frictionless.
How so?
Well, it's a one-tap checkout, completely avoiding that nightmare of creating a new user account just to give someone $1.
Oh, I hate having to create an account for a one-time thing.
Exactly. The baseline interaction is framed around a universal, super low-stakes social gesture, just buying someone a coffee.
Which everyone understands.
Right. Fans can choose to buy a coffee for $1, $3, or $5. And crucially, they can leave a message.
That message feature is everything.
It really is. The source material gives us some great examples of how this plays out in real time. Like you'll see a notification that says, Kathy G bought a coffee, followed by a simple response from the creator saying, thanks, Kathy, with a little heart emoji.
So simple, but so human.
Or there's another one where Tony Steele bought 3 coffees. And Tony leaves this message saying, absolutely love the show. I'm already waiting for next week's episode. LL, thank you. And keep doing what you're doing.
Just look at the intimacy in that exchange with Tony. Like, Tony didn't buy a product off a shelf. Tony bought 3 coffees, which is essentially this virtual gesture of overwhelming appreciation. And he engaged in a direct, enthusiastic dialogue.
Yeah, it feels like a real conversation.
Exactly. The barrier between the audience and the creator is just completely dissolved in that moment.
And the back-end mechanics of this are a massive upgrade, too. Like, in old legacy systems, creators were subjected to these agonizing delays. You make a sale, and the platform basically holds your money hostage for a 30-day payout cycle.
Yeah, while they make interest off your labor. It's wild.
Exactly. Buy Me a Coffee fundamentally breaks that legacy model by paying creators instantly, directly to their bank account.
That's incredible.
And on top of that, they've recently integrated 6 new languages: Spanish, French, Italian, German, and Ukrainian. Yeah, and this isn't just like a localization update. It actively dismantles localized financial gatekeeping. It literally allows someone sitting in Berlin to fund a creator in Kiev with a single tap, completely bypassing that traditional sluggish banking friction.
The elimination of that 30-day delay is just revolutionary on its own, because when a platform holds your capital, they hold your power. They dictate your cash flow.
Right.
Instant payouts restore agency to the creator immediately. It allows them to reinvest in their work or, simply buy their own groceries that exact same day.
Okay, I hear you on the instant payouts. And the global reach is a beautiful feature. But honestly, I have to put my auditor hat on for a second and look at the pragmatic reality of inflation and living costs today.
Okay, let's hear it.
I am really struggling to see how a $3 digital coffee, even if it's instantly deposited from someone across the globe, translates to a viable sovereign business. Like, aren't we just kind of romanticizing digital panhandling here?
That's a harsh way to put it, but I get it.
Can you genuinely build a full-time career on pocket change and gestures of goodwill?
So that is the exact skepticism most people have when they first look at this model. But what's fascinating here is the underlying psychology of Gurukul 2.0. You aren't just collecting loose change, you are engineering a culture of gratitude.
A culture of gratitude. Okay.
Yeah. The platform operates on a very specific philosophy, which they state explicitly as being friendly converts.
Interesting.
Now, as they point out themselves, you cannot put a hard metric on feelings, right? You can't track warmth on a spreadsheet.
No, my auditor brain would break trying to do that.
Right. But they note that this philosophy absolutely shows up in the results because it lowers the psychological barrier to entry. Once someone has experienced the joy of being recognized as a supporter like Tony, getting that direct human response, they are fundamentally primed for a deeper relationship.
I see.
The coffee isn't the end game.
Okay, so it's basically a filtering mechanism. The $3 isn't meant to pay your mortgage. It's meant to identify who in your audience actually values your work enough to pull out their wallet in the first place.
Spot on.
But a gateway has to lead somewhere, right? If you're abandoning the algorithmic treadmill, you need stability. So how do you convert a fleeting moment of gratitude into a sustainable digital roof over your head?
That is the real challenge.
Right, and that's where the architecture has to shift from a casual tip jar to a structured membership guild. And looking through our digital prism, we see this materialized in the platform's memberships and shop features.
Yes, that transition is exactly where the digital migration takes root. The casual support builds trust, but the structured community builds a livelihood.
Let's analyze how these memberships are structured, because it's essentially recurring income through monthly or yearly subscriptions. The source material outlines some very specific tiers that show how creators are architecting this stability.
What kind of tiers are we talking about?
So there's a basic membership at $5 a month, which gives supporters access to a members-only Discord and a 33% discount on all the creators' eBooks and services, plus exclusive posts.
Oh, that's a lot of value for $5.
Yeah, and it seems like at that $5 tier, the supporter is basically paying for proximity. They want past the velvet rope to just mingle in the Discord.
Proximity and belonging, they are paying to be recognized as part of the inner circle, alongside other people who value the same knowledge or art.
Exactly. Then we step up to the Pro membership at $15 a month, which is heavily focused on exclusive content delivery. Like you get email alerts for new posts and access to exclusive messages.
Okay, so a more premium content tier.
Right. But the advanced membership at $25 a month is where it gets highly specialized and honestly incredibly revealing.
How so?
Supporters at this tier receive things like monthly printable journal pages, email alerts, and this is the critical part, work-in-progress updates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the platform actively encourages creators to publish their best work directly on the site, specifically to drive these memberships using free and exclusive content like audio formats.
That work-in-progress update is such a beautiful hallmark of the Gurukul 2.0 philosophy.
It really is.
Because in a traditional sanitized corporate model, the customer only ever sees the polished final product, right? The flaw is hidden.
Everything has to be perfect.
Exactly. But in this decentralized knowledge ecosystem, the supporter values the process as much as the product. They are paying $25 a month specifically to see the messy middle.
To see how the sausage is made, basically.
Yes, to learn from the creator's journey, their mistakes, and their rough drafts. They are fundamentally funding the evolution of the idea.
And that concept of selling the messy journey brings us to the shop feature, which is just a wild departure from traditional e-commerce.
Okay, what makes it so different?
Well, the source material explicitly states that the things a creator wants to sell probably do not belong in a Shopify store.
Ha! Shots fired.
Right. The shop is designed from the ground up for creators. The examples they give in the manifesto are incredibly telling. They list one-on-one Zoom calls, art commissions, and digital PDFs, like a design ebook selling for $200.
$200, wow.
All with that same one-tap checkout. So what does this all mean? When I look at this shop, I don't see e-commerce at all. I see wisdom commerce.
Wisdom commerce, I like that.
Yeah. You aren't selling physical widgets that need to be warehoused, tracked, and shipped across the ocean. You are selling direct, unfiltered access to your mind and your time. A one-on-one Zoom call isn't a commodity, it's a micro-mentorship.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, we are staring directly at the modern manifestation of the Gurukul. I mean, the traditional Gurukul was a system where students lived in close proximity to their guru, participating in a shared life of learning.
Deeply personal.
Extremely. It was highly structured and based on the direct transmission of wisdom. What this platform is facilitating is basically the digital equivalent. It creates tiered levels of intimacy between the creator and the community.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Right. At the coffee level, you are a casual benefactor. At the Discord level, you are an engaged peer. And at the one-on-one Zoom call level, you are a direct student. This elegant architecture entirely replaces the need for massive, impersonal, institutional platforms that act as greedy middlemen for knowledge transfer.
It's just an incredible setup. You have the frictionless front door and then the deeply structured, high-value interior.
Yeah.
But as the architect of Antaryami, I have to ask the ultimate legacy question.
Okay, bring it on.
We can build this beautiful, tiered digital academy. We can have a thriving community of supporters. But who actually holds the deed to the land?
The million-dollar question.
Right. You can build the greatest community in the world, but if you don't own the infrastructure, your digital migration is a mirage. You're just a tenant renting space from a digital landlord who can change the algorithm, shadow ban your content, or just evict you entirely without warning.
This is the absolute crux of digital sovereignty. It's the nightmare scenario you brought up at the start of our digital stroll today. If your primary social media platform goes down tomorrow, or decides your specific type of content no longer fits their advertising model, do you still have a livelihood? Or does your entire business just evaporate overnight?
And this is where the source material hits the absolute core of our session today. The platform guarantees 100% ownership.
Wow, really? 100%.
100%. Creators own their supporters entirely. The platform promises they will never email the supporters directly, and creators can export their supporter list at any time they like.
That is massive.
Let that sink in. You hold the database. You literally download the CSV file of your entire audience.
A portable database is the ultimate insurance policy in the digital age. I mean, the mechanism of being able to export those emails means your community is not siloed within the walled garden of a specific app.
No more walled gardens.
Right. If the platform changes its rules or if you simply outgrow it, you take your people with you. Your community belongs to you, not to some board of directors.
Taking that a step further, they provide the infrastructure to activate that database immediately. Creators can send unlimited emails to their fans for absolutely free.
Unlimited emails. Free.
Completely free. The manifesto specifically calls out eliminating the need to pay separately for third-party email marketing tools like MailChimp.
Oh, that is a huge cost savings.
It is. And the financial sovereignty is just as stark. The source material highlights that creators who previously only used Patreon noticed a massive increase in earnings 20% or more simply because this platform allows them to accept those frictionless one-off payments right alongside their recurring memberships.
It removes the bottleneck. You aren't forcing someone to sign a monthly contract just to buy you a drink, you know?
Right.
By offering both, you allow the supporter to choose their level of engagement, which naturally increases overall revenue and reduces audience churn.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Breaking free from an expensive tool like MailChimp, or migrating away from the rigid structure of a platform like Patreon, it isn't just a matter of saving $50 a month on subscription fees.
No, it's bigger than that.
It's about systematically eliminating third-party gatekeepers. It is extracting the ultimate legacy code. Absolute sovereignty over your own audience. You aren't paying a digital tax to communicate with the people who explicitly ask to hear from you.
This raises an important logistical question, though, regarding the reality of managing this kind of sovereign space.
Okay, what's the catch?
When you move away from the massive, faceless platforms, you are stepping into a realm of intense personal connection. And with deep connection comes a desperate need for personal boundaries. How do you facilitate a Gurukul 2.0 connection without putting yourself at physical or emotional risk?
It's an incredible dynamic, but yeah, it also raises a terrifying point. Sovereignty sounds amazing until you realize you are now the IT department, the marketing team, and the security bouncer all rolled into one. If I'm offering a $200 private Zoom consultation, how do I know I'm not inviting a troll into my digital living room? Or if I'm accepting donations, how do I prevent my real name and home address from showing up on a stranger's credit card receipt?
That is the exact friction that keeps so many brilliant minds from ever sharing their work in the first place. But the platform actually addresses this directly under their privacy features.
Oh, really? How so?
They explicitly state, your privacy comes first. They allow creators to receive fan support safely without ever disclosing their personal identity or their home address. The platform explicitly says, we'll do the heavy lifting.
Okay, so they're providing the encrypted financial rails. They act as the protective buffer between the creator's bank account and the public internet.
Precisely that. That synthesis of high-tech infrastructure, secure payments, instant global routing, one-tap checkout with high-touch humanity is just brilliant.
It's the perfect balance.
Yeah, they manage the heavy lifting of security and privacy on the back end, so the creator can do the heavy lifting of vulnerability and community building on the front end. You don't have to dox your home address just to receive a tip, which is a massive barrier removed for marginalized voices or anonymous creators stepping into the economy.
That is so important.
And uniquely for a tech company in this era, they offer access to real human support. If a creator needs advice to hit the ground running, they talk to a human being, not some automated chatbot looping them through a useless help center.
It really is a complete self-sustaining ecosystem. So as we prepare to wrap up today's digital stroll, let me put on my Architect of Antaryami hat one last time and synthesize the legacy code we've extracted today.
Let's hear it.
What we've seen is that a true sustainable digital migration is not just about finding a new website to sell your PDFs or collect tips. It requires a fundamental shift in philosophy. It is about cultivating a space that is completely frictionless and globally accessible, breaking down financial borders with multiple languages and instant, direct payouts. But more importantly, it is about building a fully sovereign space.
Fully sovereign.
A space where you own your audience outright, where you control the means of communication without paying a toll, and where you define the tiers of intimacy through wisdom commerce, all while being fiercely protected by privacy-first infrastructure.
It is the stark difference between being a vulnerable tenant in someone else's algorithmic shopping mall and owning the deed to your own digital Gurukul.
I couldn't have summarized it better myself. And as the mentor of our Antaryami VA Academy, I know you have a final thought to leave with our listeners as they continue on their own path.
I do. I want you to take a moment today and look closely at the tools you use every single day to share your voice, your art, or your knowledge. If the undeniable future of the digital economy prioritizes complete audience ownership, instantaneous global connection, and privacy-first human interaction over sterile transactional algorithms.
Wait, where are you going with this?
Well, just think about it. How vulnerable is your current digital footprint to the platforms you rely on today?
A vital question for the strategic auditor and all of us. Thank you for walking with us today and joining this digital stroll. This concludes our Gurukul session. We will see you on the next path.